I've never been a massive academic success in my career in school and university. I always struggled with spelling, grammar, articulation, just revision. I used to dread tests, still do dread tests. Anything that sort of kind of puts me on the spot where I have to do something and sort of think off the cuff. This here, me talking to you now, is probably the 15th time I've done this. I started last night, and as you can see, it's not night anymore, because I've had to sort of redo it loads because I can't sort of articulate myself the way I want to. And that's obviously, this is what this whole thing's about, this is what this discussion's about, this blog even. I've tried hard, well, most of the time, tried hard throughout school to do my best, but I just got set back by my mindset and by the way, like, I knew I would learn things and try to learn things, and they just wouldn't stick. And it was only sort of when I got to university, in the first place, it was a mystery, but I've always been a bit fluky. But I got to university and I remember sort of kind of discussing with my mum about the issues I had. I said, well, maybe you've got dyslexia. Your sister used to put her D's and B's backwards. I think it was sort of runs in the family. So, okay. So I went and had a test, and they gave me loads of little sort of blocks and stuff to put together, and timed me and sort of talked to me about certain things. And I had to say the first thing that came into my head and write some stuff down. And obviously this was all timed and monitored. And I got the report upstairs actually. And basically they said to me, yeah, you're dyslexic. You can't articulate it to yourself very well. As you'll notice, I am quite a lot. And I can't get things out properly, even though I know they're there. And obviously, I've got sort of kind of slower motor skills when it comes to things. I can't do things quickly. I can be quick-witted sometimes, but I've really got to think about it, and it's just sort of, I'm not one of those sort of guys who can just come up with things like that and sort of go off with it. They did say I had above average comprehension, which I'm not 100% sure what that means in the relation to sort of dyslexia, but I kind of think maybe it means sort of, I can understand things. I understand sort of like when people, when I see things, I grasp it, but the issue is trying to get it out, trying to tell somebody else, trying to write it down. So I've got it in my head, it's like, oh yeah, I grasp it, I understand that, but trying to let it out, it just doesn't work for me. I find that struggles. And because I struggled all my life, I've always thought I was stupid. I've got some really smart friends, who aced their A-levels and their GCSEs and got, firsts and 2-1s in their degrees. Really smart guys, and they barely had to do any revision whatsoever. It was just natural for them to do it. Whereas me, I struggled the whole way through, and I had to spend days and days revising, and still didn't really come out with very much. Prime example is my history degree. My history A-level. I failed my history A-level, and that was one of my favourite subjects. Now, that was probably partially down to the history we were taught was sort of political history, and I'm more sort of into military history. So obviously I wasn't as interested as I should have been. But even so, I don't mind that sort of history, and I should know these things. But when it came to the test, everything I thought I knew just went. I couldn't sort of write it down. I couldn't articulate myself well, and so when I was writing things down, I was missing stuff, and then I'd be like a page down to another person, I'd remember it, I can't go back to that, but I've written it, and it was just sort of, it was a nightmare. and I failed. Luckily I got into university, I don't know how, obviously just low quotas or something, and I did a history degree, which again, I got a 2-2, which some people it's like Mickey Mouse, which I guess it might be, but I did learn a lot of history in the military history course. And I probably could have easily got a first had I been able to sort of, really hunker down and sort of get it done. I'm only a few marks off the Pt1, to be honest. I did try to pull the dyslexia card on them, but they went there. But they, I think had I been sort of mentally sort of fit, I could have easily got it, but I just couldn't bring myself to sort of, gain tests were a nightmare. I didn't do too badly when it came to sort of arguments and stuff like that, and when I sort of had time to think about it, when I was forced to sort of think off the cuff, forget about it, it was really hard, and obviously I didn't get as much as I should do, and that was sort of kind of slightly heartbreaking for me, and especially just throughout, you work hard, and you don't get what you want to get, and then it's just your parents and stuff who've invested a lot of time and money in you, and you haven't really sort of fulfilled their expectations of you, and they do the whole "I'm not angry, I'm disappointed" thing, and that's just heartbreaking because you're like, oh, I did try.